Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin Robbie Billups, and it is time for a Robbie Rants. And today, we're going to be talking about the comic books from Free Comic Book Day 2017. That's right, everybody. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. This is Pop Culture Philosophers. This is a comic book show, Robbie Rants. We're going to talk Robbie Rants to talk about a lot of different stuff. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to the show, thank you guys so much. We do a lot of comic book stuff here, including a weekly comic book review. So you can think of this as a special edition weekly comic book review. We're going to be talking about Free Comic Book Day. Free Comic Book Day is awesome. It started, what was that, like? Seriously, 17, 16 years ago? Was it 2000, 2001? 2001, I think, is when it first started. I was there from the beginning. I worked in the industry. I worked at a comic shop called Rocket City Collectibles. It used to be Comic Corner. I now work at a comic book store in Huntsville, the same one, or a different one, but the same city, the Deep Comics and Games. So I have been in this for a long time. And I've been reading comics since the mid-'80s when I was about 5 years old. So I have dedicated a lot of my life to reading comic books, and so here I go sharing with you comic books. Free Comic Book Day, it's awesome. It's an event. It comes out once a year. It's usually the first Saturday in May, and it's an event that's designed to bring a lot of people into comic book stores, local comic book stores, to hand out some free comics, have some good deals, some good sales going on, and to check out and to try to grow the industry and let people know a little bit more about this medium called comic books, which is a fantastic way to tell stories through script and art. It's amazing. Comic books are great, guys. So, I mean, I know you all agree with that, right? You're watching this video. We all love comic books. Free Comic Book Day 2017. There's always a lot of offerings from all the different companies on Free Comic Book Day, but a lot of stores will limit you on what you can get. Because let's be honest, guys, you got to understand this. The comic book stores, it may be Free Comic Book Day to you, but the comic book stores actually have to purchase these books still. They actually still have to buy them. Now, they buy them at a severely discounted rate, but they still do have to spend a lot of money on promotion and on the product itself for Free Comic Book Day. So when you go out there today on Free Comic Book Day, be nice to the clerks, be nice to the managers and the owners of the stores. They're having a really hectic day, but they're there for you. They love you. They love the art of reading, and we are all here to celebrate comic books. That is what Free Comic Book Day is about. So if they limit you to like 3 titles, 4 titles, 1 title, that's the way it is, man. So just there you go. But the aftermarket, the secondary market on eBay, definitely you can find some stuff there. But let's get into it. Let's talk about the Free Comic Book Day books right now from Marvel Comics. And this I got a big stack here that I've read, but this is just some of the books. There's a whole lot of comic books coming out on Free Comic Book Day, but hopefully this will let you try to figure out exactly what you're looking for when you go into the shops, and go early, because the good stuff and the smaller stuff will go very, very quickly. But we got Secret Empire Free Comic Book Day edition. This takes place in between Secret Empire number 0 and Secret Empire number 1, at least as far as I can tell. Secret Empire is a story where Captain America, through the magic of a sentient cosmic cube, has been turned into an agent of Hydra. The whole time he's been there for Hydra, he's been waiting to make his move. He's made his move, and he is taking over the USA and putting Hydra in charge, and Captain America is the head of all of that. Secret Empire has been pretty crazy. The 0 issue was really good. Issue 1 that came out this week was okay in my opinion. But the Free Comic Book Day issue was actually really, really good. It's got artwork by Andrea Sorrentino, helping out on the script by Nick Spencer. So this book has my seal of approval. Definitely most people on Free Comic Book Day, this is the book you're going to want to pick up. This is the most relevant, most impactful, most important comic book that is coming out on Free Comic Book Day this year. And it's mostly because of the ending. It's got a really crazy ending that makes a whole lot of sense to me. We'll talk about it. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but this is major. What happens at the end of the Secret Empire. It also, on the backside, has a little preview of the Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, a brand new comic, new Spider-Man book, new Spider-Man movie, so we got to have a new comic book. Spectacular Spider-Man Returns, written by Chip Zdarsky, with artwork by Adam Kubert. That's right, Adam Kubert. I love the Kuberts. I always loved them growing up. The Spider-Man bit in here, it was okay. It was okay. Maybe Spidey fans will like it. If people haven't been liking Amazing Spider-Man, maybe you'll like this, but I didn't like it near as much as Amazing Spider-Man. I'm loving Dan Slott's Amazing Spider-Man, so I recommend you picking that up. But Secret Empire, free comic book day edition, definitely want to pick that up. It's original, all original material. This is going to be the big what of the week. So there you go. Also from Marvel, we got all new Guardians of the Galaxy. Of course, there's the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie this week. I just watched it last night. I have my own thoughts about it. They will be on a PCP movie night. Link down below if we've already released it. It's coming right after this video, I believe. Guardians of the Galaxy, all new Guardians of the Galaxy, written by Jerry Dugan, art by Aaron Cooter. Love the artwork. The story's all right. Issue 1 of this title came out this last Wednesday. I thought it was okay. It wasn't really much for me. It felt like Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie, light to me, and that's exactly how this feels, but it was kind of fun. Maybe it's the afterglow of having watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which overall I did think was a pretty solid movie, but if you really want to know what I really think about it, watch that PCP movie night. But the Guardians bit in here, it's okay. It's pretty fun, so if you watch the movie, if you like the Guardians stuff because of the movies, you're definitely going to want to maybe pick this one up. It also has a little preview of The Defenders in there by Brian Michael Bendis and David Marquez. So that's really, really cool. We got the Defenders series on Netflix coming in August and a new comic book series coming in June by Bendis and Marquez. And it was actually really, really cool. It had great coloring. The coloring on the Defenders bit in here is awesome. So Bendis fans, Defenders fans, definitely going to want to pick up the Guardians book because it has your first preview of the Defenders book in there. From DC Comics, we have Wonder Woman, free comic book day, DC Rebirth, #1 edition, whatever. This is a reprint of Wonder Woman #2. It's the first chapter of the Year 1 story by Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott. This book is awesome. If you've already bought that comic, you maybe don't need to check this out because this, seriously, it's just a reprint. It's just a reprint of that book, but it is a really good book, so if you haven't had a chance to read it, it restarts the origin of Wonder Woman, the new DC Rebirth origin of Wonder Woman. It's in here. It's awesome. It's the first chapter in here in full. But it is a reprint of Wonder Woman #2 from last year when they launched DC Rebirth. So if you already have that, you can go ahead and skip this and find room for other things. But this book is really, really good. I highly recommend it. From Image Comics, we got I Hate Image #1. Scotty Young. Scotty Young is an amazing artist. Does lots of cool, like, young versions of characters and those alternate covers from Marvel, for instance. But he does the book I Hate Fairyland, and this is the character from I Hate Fairyland going through Image Land, basically. It's a land filled with the Image characters from past and current. So there's lots of references in here to, like, things past, like Spawn and Youngblood and stuff like that, but a lot of new stuff in here too, like East, West, and Saga. And it's all parody, and it's all fun, and it's really nifty and really cool, and it's all original by Scotty Young. So definitely check that out. Image fans, you're going to love this book. It's really fun. If you're a Scotty Young fan, you definitely want to pick this up, but this book was very enjoyable. I liked it very, very much. Now, I want to get into real quick, because those were some of the bigger ones to me, but, like, one of the best things about Free Comic Book Day is it is an opportunity for us to go out there and see things from smaller publishers, from lesser-known creators that maybe we would never notice before. And so, Drawn and Quarterly has a couple of offerings for Free Comic Book Day that I really want to point out to you. The first one is Colorful Monsters. Definitely recommend that you check this book out. It was really cool. It's got a lot of snippets from some upcoming graphic novels they have. The one that really, really impressed me was a book called If Found, Please Return to Elise Gravel. I have never heard of Elise Gravel, but I just adore her work. This is amazing. Seriously, when she has free time, she doodles in a notebook, and there's coming out in June a collection of these images. They're really funny, they're cute, they're adorable, they're weird, they're wonky. But that was really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in Colorful Monsters. Definitely check that out. Also, Hostage is another offering that we have from Drawn and Quarterly. Hostage by Guy Delisle. I don't know if Hostage is part of something bigger. It seems like this is an original story, but it does have some other books in here that they talk about. Maybe you want to check out these other works. Hostage was a really cool short story, really, really awesome. But what was really cool was this, the backup story is Poppies of Iraq, which is a book coming out from Drawn and Quarterly in September that I just loved. Poppies of Iraq. I thought that was amazing. I thought it was a really good book. It really opened my eyes to some things. It made me think. It was really good, and it was very, very relevant. So when that book comes out in September, definitely check that out. But I would highly recommend, in the amongst of all this popcorn cool comic book stuff, these two books, Hostage from Drawn and Quarterly and Colorful Monsters. Right there. Those two books, you definitely want to check those out. Absolutely. Those are my recommendations. If there was a pick of the week for Free Comic Book Day, if there was a pick for Free Comic Book Day, it would be tied for these two books. Seriously, I just check these out. They're really cool. Other books that came out, Catalyst Prime from Lion Forge Comics. They just launched Noble. They're trying to do this really cool, diverse superhero kind of thing. And this is the prelude to the event that happens that launches the book. So this tells you what the event is or whatever they're talking about. And it was all right. It was better than Noble #1. Written by Christopher Priest. Yeah, written by Christopher Priest. It was all right. Artwork goes through a bunch of different people. I guess a bunch of different artists from the titles. They're planning to launch a whole series of books out of this, and it was kind of mediocre. I didn't really think it was that good. It's kind of been done, but I don't know. It's worth checking out, but I don't know. It didn't really do much for me. Titan Comics does this Doctor Who Free Comic Book Day. 4 doctors all in one. You got the Eccleston Doctor, the Smith Doctor, the Capaldi Doctor, and the Tennant Doctor. So Doctor Who fans, you're going to love this. It's really cool. Bill, the new companion from the new series, is in here, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. If you don't read Doctor Who, don't read this book. It won't mean anything to you. But if you're a Doctor Who fan, definitely want to check this out. Titan has actually been doing some really good stuff with the Doctor Who books. I read them off and on. I have fallen behind, but I do like them. I don't talk about them a lot in the weekly comic book review because I'm always behind on them because they always fall at the bottom of the stack. But I do love Doctor Who, and I think Titan's been doing some really good comic books. So there you go. From Oni Press, Bad Machinery. I read this. It was a little hard to follow, but I thought it was kind of neat and really cool, and it made me interested in more of these books. This is an excerpt from a book. There's a series of graphic novels, Bad Machinery. This stuff was actually really cool. So if you're interested in that, it's very indie, but cool detective mystery stories from kids. So if you like Hardy Boys, Jessica Drew, stuff like that, in that indie comic book type feel, Bad Machinery was actually pretty cool. From Boom Studios, we have Fresh Off the Boot. Fresh Off the Boot. Fresh Off the Boot, Fresh Off the Boot, Fresh Off the Boat presents Legion of Dopitude featuring Lazy Boy. This is a tie-in to the Fresh Off the Boat TV series, so that's interesting. I've never seen that series, but I'm actually intrigued to see it. But I think this is kind of based on the comic book they created in one of the episodes, but it was really cool, really fun, and very different. Something cool. So definitely check that one out if you get the chance. Also from Boom, we got the 2017 Summer Blast. That's pretty cool. It's got previews in here, actually excerpts, little bits from Cody and the Creepies, and Brave Chef Brianna, which I adore. Both of those books, especially Brave Chef Brianna. If you watch the weekly comic book review, I talk about that book a lot. So if you want to check it out for free, pick up the Boom Studios 2017 Summer Blast from Red 5 Comics. They're the ones originally that launched Atomic Robo, right? Kaiser Soze, Scorched Earth. I am a huge fan of The Usual Suspects, the Bryan Singer movie that was written by Christopher McQuarrie. Love that movie so much. One of my favorite movies of all time. Might be in my top 10, definitely in my top 20, definitely in my top 25. I mean, it's hard to peg that stuff down, guys. It really is. So they're doing a comic book about Kaiser Soze, so I thought it would be awesome, and I read it, and it was not. It was terrible. Skip this book. Don't be fooled. You're like, Kaiser Soze from Usual Suspects? What? Get the Drawn and Quarterly stuff. This book sucks. Don't get it. Absolutely. Animal Jam from Dynamite Comics. I read this book not knowing anything about Animal Jam, and I found it to be very enjoyable, very punny. Lots of puns in there, but obviously it's for an all-ages, mostly kid-type audience. But it was fun. Then I found out it's an app game. It's a game. It's an app for your phone or your tablet or whatever. But I thought it was kind of cool. So Animal Jam was pretty neat. From IDW. IDW did Star Trek: The Next Generation Mirror Broken. Excuse me. Well, I am a huge Star Trek nerd, absolutely. Just love Star Trek. I love TNG, absolutely. Love the Mirror Universe, absolutely. This book is okay. The Tipton brothers are writing this one, and the artwork is by J.K. Woodward. Woodward he did the Doctor Who Star Trek crossover Simulation Squared, if you remember that. His artwork is really weird. At first, you look at it and you're like, wow, that's very realistic and cool and neat. Then you realize, no, it's very like static and weird. Right? So the artwork's a little weird, but the story's kind of intriguing. The Mirror Universe in Star Trek, if you don't know, is the Federation's actually like bad guys. They've taken over the galaxy, and this is, I think, one of the first times they've gone to that universe in the TNG world. So it's really cool to see where the characters are and what's going on. So Star Trek fans, definitely you're going to love this book. Absolutely, so check that out. Also from DC Comics, we got DC Superhero Girls. Number 1, I read that. That was a really fun book. It's got a lot of cool characters, all women, of course. This is a book, you know, about superhero girls, so it's meant to be for young women. And I think that's awesome, and I think this book is awesome. So if you got a little lady in your life that you want to get into comic books, if you want them to be able to have some hero worship and be able to get into like a little bit more of these mythological superhero type characters, check this book out. Batgirl, Wonder Woman, Supergirl. This is the book for you. And dudes, read this book because it's good. It really is. So check it out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This was a lead-in to their new series, or to the new story in their series at IDW, which is on like 70-something issues now. I read it for about 30 issues. I fell out of it. I've been meaning to catch up. So I read this and I felt lost, but it seemed pretty cool, and I got really excited to get caught back up on TMNT. Because IDW's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book has actually been really good. So check that out. Also from Image, we have Kid Savage. Kid Savage is a Joe Kelly book. Apparently it's a graphic novel. It's already out. I read it. Didn't really like it that much. I thought it was okay. I think this is one of those ones you can just skip right on by. But that's just my opinion. But one I think is really, really good. It's from American mythology, and it's Underdog. Have no fear. Underdog is here. I love the Underdog cartoon growing up, and this comic book was super, super fun. It brought me right back to those days of being a kid watching Underdog reruns on TV, and it even has a gold key reprint at the back, and that was super, super fun. A new Underdog book just launched this week. New number 1 just came out, and I haven't read it yet, but this book got me super pumped to read it. If you love Underdog, if you want that nostalgia feeling, pick up the Underdog Free Comic Book Day book from American mythology. Bongo does this every year, the Bongo Free for All. If you are a fan of Matt Groening's stuff, the Futurama, especially The Simpsons, this is the book for you. Every single year he does it. Also, it's a really fun stuff. So if you like Simpsons, definitely check out this book. It's always fun. It's always a treat. It's always something I look forward to on Free Comic Book Day, is reading the Bongo book. From First Second Comics, a new company I've never heard of, I guess, but Spill Knight from Scott Westward. This book was actually kind of interesting. It had some really, really cool artwork. The story was a little hard to follow, but it was intriguing and it had me wanting more. So that's one. Maybe you're not going to have a lot of those out there, so if you see this on the shelf, you might want to pick it up because it is kind of cool. Another one that was really, really cool from Nobro Entertainment was Hilda's Back. Apparently this is going to be a Netflix series or something coming out next year, but I found this to be very enjoyable. There was a backup story, Garbage Night by Jen Lee. Not Jim Lee, Jen Lee. Didn't really like that one as much, but Hilda's Back was very intriguing and kind of cute and really, really, really neat. I thought that was cool. From Fantagraphics, another great publisher, World's Greatest Cartoonist. You definitely got to pick this book up. Lots of cool independent type stuff. Different, unique stuff. If you're looking for something different, if you want a sampling of different, unique type stuff that's maybe a little bit way outside the box, pick that up. World's Greatest Cartoonist. So, that's what I have read for Free Comic Book Day. Lots of good stuff to check out this week on Free Comic Book Day this year. I think you can skip the Catalyst stuff. Animal Jam's actually pretty fun. But definitely, I don't want you to miss these Drawn and Quarterly ones, guys. The Colorful Monsters and The Hostage. These two books, they make the Free Comic Book Day picks of the year, I guess, if you want to say that. But I Hate Image is really good. If you haven't read it already, The Wonder Woman is really cool. Guardians is fun, but it's really worth it for that Defender story at the end. And Secret Empire #0 has got that moment that's going to make you go, what? Because that's what I did when I first read it. I had to think about it. It makes a lot of sense. We'll talk about it in the comments below. Let me know what you picked up for Free Comic Book Day this year and what you thought about it. Love talking to you guys in the comments down below. And do please subscribe and check out our channel if you're new to the channel. We do a weekly comic book review. We do movie reviews, toy unboxings and reviews, tons of commentary on pop culture. We also have a podcast. All of that and more can be found at popculturephilosophers.com. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, thank you guys so much. Thanks for rocking with us, and keep reading. And remember, they may be free comics, but we're all cool. We're all here on this world. Let's enjoy the art of reading and just be nice to each other every once in a while, guys. Come on. Keep rocking.